going to have some introductory comments, then we'll go to questions in the room, followed by questions virtually at the end. Happy holidays to everybody. Merry Christmas to those who celebrate. We'll see many of you in Jacksonville. So, Coach, whenever you're ready, take it away.
I like it, Ross. Yeah, well, that's good. I like that. The difference is from the draft. You don't get any say or choice. The cool thing about this day is, people have to choose you, and I think that's really, that never gets old for me. So it's a great day for the Tigers, and again, always a blessing when a young man and his family say, hey, yeah, that's what I want to be a part of. I think that's really cool. That never gets old to me. I love that part of it, and I just love the process of seeing it through, and the development that comes with it. And we got a lot going on, man. Today is a day we're celebrating our graduates. I'm leaving here. We got a big brunch and got graduation tomorrow, and so you got that group that's been through their journey, and now you got a day all on the same day. You're celebrating a bunch of new Tigers coming in, so it's a blessing, and it's just a group I'm super excited about getting started with. I think it's my 15th class, and the one thing I will say about the last 15 years, we've been incredibly consistent with graduation. We've been very, very consistent with winning, and we've been, I think, consistent in those areas because of our recruiting and how we recruit and the young people that have come in here. So just again a fun day, a great day, a lot that goes into it, and really just always appreciative of our staff. I know I'm the one that comes in here and has to do the press conference and all that stuff, but listen, I just do my part. We have a huge operation. There's so much that goes into the recruiting process, from our student volunteers to our full-time staff, all the way up to Ty and Chanel and Jordan Sorrells and Josh Wall and Zach Fulmer. I mean, they just do an incredible job of managing our whole recruiting operation, not to mention the coaches and all that they have to do with the role that they fulfill. So it's a never-ending deal. Like, we're celebrating this day today, but we're on to the next class. I mean, it never ever stops. So it's something you got to enjoy, and I do enjoy it. I enjoy the relationships. I enjoy the competitiveness of it, and because we take a lot of pride in Clemson and who we are, so it's again a fun day, and with the guys coming in mid-years for the mid-year, I think it'll be a very fun spring as well. But looking at the class, we've got 22 total signees. 15 of them are going to be mid-years, so I think that's really exciting. Several of those guys are going to meet us at the bowl. They changed that rule last year to where guys could come in and get some practice with you and come to the bowl with you the whole deal. Can't play, but can be a part of the process, and that's just really helpful because you go ahead and start getting some guys acclimated and start making the transition with them, and for some of these guys to be able to spend a little time, like Champ Thompson, for example, he's been here the last couple of days, and for him to have a few days or a week with Tyler Davis, I mean, that's pretty cool. To have an opportunity, a guy he's not going to be able to play with, but to be able to learn from a few days, I think is great. And of the 15 mid-years, 6 are on offense and 9 are on defense. And then Hoosier, I guess it's really 16 because Hoosier's coming in mid-year as well. So got 9 different states, Georgia, Florida, Texas, Maryland, South Carolina, Illinois, Virginia, North Carolina, and Tennessee. So I think that's my first signee from the state of Illinois, so added another guy there, or another state. So really, really cool. Position-wise, offensively, again, we got 8 guys, 1 running back, 4 offensive linemen, a tight end, and 2 receivers. And then defensively, we got 13 guys, 2 D tackles, 2 D ends, 3 linebackers, 3 safeties, and 3 corners, and then 1 kicker. So it's a really good group. A lot of these guys have won championships throughout their tenure, and I think that's something that we always look at as far as where they're coming from. Specifically, the guys coming in, David Easy Azumame coming from North Cobb, Coach Shane Queen. We're really excited about David. He's a big back. I mean, this kid has got a ton of personality. He's a home run hitter, and just a perfect fit for this class. We were going to take one, and we feel like we got our guy. And he's been committed a long time. Receiver, we want to take 2 guys there. These guys have been committed. They came in to our visit last June. They've been committed ever since. And, these are 2 of the top 10 receivers in the country. 2 great players that really bring everything that we're looking for. And so Wesco's coming in mid-year, so he'll get a head start, and really excited about him and just, the versatility of his game. He can really do a lot of things. Same thing with TJ, man, just 2 ball hawks. They can go up and get it. They got length. They got speed. They've got change of direction. They got the ability to do a lot of things with the ball in their hands after the catch. So lots to like. TJ coming from Tampa Catholic, Coach Jarris McIntyre, and Bryant Wesco from Midlothian, Coach Doug Wendell. So really excited about this group there. And then tied in, man, I feel like Christian Bentoncourt has been committed for 10 years. I think he was the first commit in this class, and he committed to me really early, and he maybe announced like a month later or something like that. But man, this guy is special. He is a big-time playmaker. I really love what we have at our tight end position. Same thing at receiver and running back. With now these guys kind of coming and adding on to the group, we're in a good spot. But he's from Marion Central Catholic. Coach Liam Kerwin. He's from up where, if you ever seen you older guys in here, y'all have all seen Groundhog Day, right? And that's where he's from. He's from that little town. You go by a bunch of cornfields to get to his school, but he's out in the middle. You think of, Illinois, you think of, big city, but he's from out in the middle of nowhere. But that little town, Groundhog Day, where it was filmed, it's right there. It was kind of cool riding through it. There's Punxsutawney Phil right there. So neat experience recruiting him. And again, my first signee from Illinois. Man, just super excited about what we were able to do on the offensive line. Man, it just kind of came together, and just worked out in a great way. Ronan O'Connell from Page High School in Tennessee, Coach Charles Rathbone, he's been committed a long time, and we're really excited about Ronan. Big barrel-chested guy, thick, can really, he's got a lot of versatility to his game. He is a tough kid, man, and I just love everything about him. He's been with us for a while. And then just, as things went out, we kind of started the season, saying, hey, we might take 2, maybe 3. And then obviously we had a couple guys that one had to give up football medically with John. And then we had a graduate that wanted to move on. So with the guys coming back, we ended up saying, hey, we want to try to find another center. And, man, we went and got a kid right here that we never took our eye off, but we weren't sure we were going to have a spot. And, man, Watson Young, I think he's going to be the first 4th-generation Tiger football player. I think that's really cool. His great-granddad played here. His granddad played here. His dad played here. And now this kid, and he was heading up to App, but really glad it worked out for him to be able to join us. And, a true center, man. He's played a lot of tackle as well, but he's going to be a center for us. And again, that just really proud of his development. I've had a chance to know him his entire life, literally. So I know he's going to be a guy that's going to be an outstanding Tiger for years to come. And then these last 2 guys, I think we really knocked it out of the park. And, just as far as what we needed. We needed guys that could play tackle and again, have some position flexibility, a lot like Jordan McFadden brought to us, a lot like Colin Sadler brings to us, a lot like Tristan Lee brings to us, some versatility in their game. And Elijah Thurman and Mason Wade, they bring that. These are 2 dirt bags, tough guys, man, just athletic, got good length, really in a good spot physically. And the best thing about these 4 linemen is they're all mid-years. So they're all going to have a chance to be here. So I'm really, really excited about them being on campus and joining us. Elijah from Bradwell Institute, Coach Deshaun Brock. He's a kid that we battled hard. And again, you think Tremaine Ankrum, you think Jordan McFadden, you think maybe a little bigger, but that type of athlete can really, really run. He's got excellent length. He's a great player in space. Love his toughness. I just think this kid's got a chance to be a great, great player. And then same thing with Mason Wade. Mason Wade, was a guy that committed to Duke early. And he's from up at Loudoun Valley High School, Coach David Bishop up in Virginia. And he's a kid that was committed. Obviously, that situation changed. Recruiting opens back up. We were able to get back in on this kid. And his mom, ironically went to Clemson, and his Uncle Andy, went to Clemson as well. And he was a kid that had been in our camp early, but he committed early to Duke. And, man, you talk about he's the epitome of football. I mean, the guy has just developed every year. And you watch his tape, that's what I told him. First thing I said, this is a dirtbag right here. This guy he's a nice kid, but he is nasty on the football field. And again, long, he's got great work ethic. He's a grinder, incredibly smart. And so I just think we checked all the boxes and we were able to get what we need. And then with the guys, that we've got 7 starters coming back in the offensive line. Really, Linthicum, you kind of put him as 8 because he's going to have a chance to be the starter. He's got to go earn it this spring, but he'll have a chance. And you got Dietrich and Big Zach and Ian Reed and, Chap. And now all of a sudden we're able to get 4 guys. It just really gets us to a good spot where we need to be from a depth standpoint. And so I'm excited about it. This group of linemen rolling in here and what they bring, and all these guys offensively, I think will add on well because we got most everybody back. Just losing really Putnam up front from a starter standpoint, and we got 7 guys back that have started and won games for us. So excited about the group and the mix that we'll have there. Defensively, and Hoosier counted in this as our kicker, 9 mid-years. 14 total guys there. 2 DNs, Darian Mayo and Adam Kasai. Both these dudes are 6'7". Just absolute giants when you see them. Mayo was a kid that we recruited really hard for a long time. Knew a lot about him. He's up there at good counsel with Coach Stefanelli. And a school we got a lot of respect for. They do a tremendous job there. Obviously, Dorian O'Daniel came out of there. But, man, Darian is a high-level player. He's a guy that's got, I think, a bright future, had a great year this year. And then Adam Kasai was a kid that was committed to another school, and he's a neat story. He shows up at our camp, and not only did he come, he came for 3 days. And I'll never forget taking the picture with him at the Rock. He told me at the Rock, I look at him when he comes in, and he said he was coming to get a scholarship offer to Clemson. And I said, well, okay, well, I'm going to be here every day, so we'll see what happens. And, he was here for 3 days. He's playing the game. He didn't miss anything. And he really won us over in camp. He's got long-range potential in that, the kid was a quarterback. He's played tight end, and they kind of move him to DN late. So he's kind of a late-blooming guy. But he's got what you can't coach. He can really run. He can bend. He's athletic, but he's 6'7". And I have no idea how big this guy's going to be, but I'm really excited about his potential and what he brings. He's a perfect guy to come in with this class with the current roster that we have. So can't wait to get him going. He's a mid-year, and he'll be here, and he's going to need it because it's going to be fun to watch him develop between now and August. And then Darian will come in the summer. But Adams from Heritage High School down in Florida, Coach Mikael Benson. And then D-tackle, we got Heaven Brown, Schuler, and Champ Thompson, two of my favorite kids that I've ever recruited. Just two great families and just great kids in the whole recruiting process that I've been a part of. Heaven is from Pace Academy with Coach Nick Bach, and And Champ is from Gainesville High School, from one of my old Alabama teammates, and Coach Josh Niblett, longtime Hoover coach over there at Gainesville now. But last guy we got out of Gainesville was pretty good. So I'm excited about Champ coming in here, and that's two pretty good names, Heaven and Champ. That's two pretty good names there for the D tackles, and just glad to have them be a part of it. Champ's already here and started practice, and Heaven will join us this summer. But these are two big, strong, athletic, dynamic players, and with big personalities, and just so much more than football players. I mean, they're elite players, but it's two great young men. And then at linebacker, man, it really came together well. This was a position we considered maybe taking a portal guy if Barrett had left, but with Barrett coming back, we had Sammy, we had Woodaz, so we needed another guy. And with Barrett coming back, we really wanted to take another high school kid. And I'm gonna tell you, man, this Cooper Taylor guy, he's just an example of what the portal's doing to high school recruiting, honestly. A few years ago, this had been a kid we wouldn't have been able to get. He would have been committed to, somewhere already. This guy is, a really, really good player. He's got great size and length, and he's a guy that's gotten better every year. And what he did this year, he was at a small school, then he transferred into good counsel, and what he's done this year, this kid played really, really well. And we think he's got a lot of great days ahead of him. So excited about just who he is. He was really just the perfect fit for us. So he came in this past weekend and wanted to be a Tiger, and just excited about him and his family. Crazy thing too, his uncle lives in Greenville and went to school here at Clemson. So really just neat family, and good fit for us. Sammy Brown from Jefferson High School, Coach Travis Nolan. He's a mid-year. Drew Woodaz from Jesuit, Coach Matt Thompson, he will not be. And then Cooper Taylor, he's Mayo's teammate with Coach Stefanelli up there. He's not a mid-year as well. So Sammy's the one mid-year, and everybody knows a lot about Sammy Brown, from Jefferson High School there with Coach Travis Nolan. Unbelievable program, and this is a kid that we've really recruited since he was a kid. We were recruiting him before we even knew we were recruiting him. He's been coming to the youth camp. Great story there. His mom's got a video of me, I guess, when he was a little kid, 5th grade, 6th grade, I don't know, but he had left his book bag or something. So we try to help them guys have a little responsibility, and so we had to come up, whose book bag, and some little kid shows up, and all right, well, you got 10 up downs, 1, 2, get your book bag back, and his mom's got that on video. So that's pretty cool. You never know who you're coaching out here in these camps, and this kid turns into the best linebacker in high school football. Now, obviously won the high school Buckus Award, which is really, really cool. So just super excited about Sammy. I mean, he's a dude. We all know that. This guy's a powerlifting champ, a wrestling champ. Rushes the ball. He never comes off the field hardly, and just unbelievable family. His dad is Mike is one of the coaches there, and so just super excited to finally get started with him and to plug him in. And I think it's a blessing that Barrett is back, and he's got a chance to really have a guy like Barrett Carter to mentor with for over this next year. I think it'll be very beneficial to him. And same thing with Drew Woodaz. I mean, this Woodaz family, this is a tough family, and man, he's got a sister that plays college athletics. She might be the toughest one in the family, and now you got, obviously Wade and now Drew. They say Drew's the best athlete of all of them. We will see when he gets here. No pressure, Drew, but we're really excited. I mean, just another great addition to that room, and proud of the job that Wes has done in putting it together the way he wanted to put it together, and with the intangibles and just different abilities that he has in the room for the positions that we need to be played there. So great group. Corners, we got Tavoy Fagan, Corian Gibson, and Ashton Hampton. Tavoy is Carrollwood Day School, Coach Marshall McDuffie. and unbelievable school down there in Tampa, Florida. Great coaching, great preparation. Tavoy is a mid-year. I actually coached his dad. His dad played for me at Alabama, Michael Fagan. So, again, just that's what this game does. It's about relationships. But he is a great player. He's got length. He's got, great technique at this stage of his career. His technique, his fundamentals, his knowledge of the game. He's very advanced when it comes to all that stuff. And he's dynamic. I mean, he's a returner. He does a little bit of everything. So just super excited about Tavoy. And, again, him being able to get on in here and get started. And then Corey and Gibson, Lancaster High School, Coach Leon Paul. Had a chance to go out there. Man, what a great school, great coach. I mean, it's easy to see going out there and spending some time with Coach Paul why Corian was drawn to Clemson. It's really easy to see. And so this is a kid, same thing, could have gone anywhere he wanted to go. He did have an injury this year, but he's doing very, very well with his rehab on that. He'll be coming in mid-year, and just a long, competitive, fast, athlete on that back end that can do a lot of things. This kid can play anywhere in the secondary, great length at corner. So I'm just really, really excited. The thing I love about him, he's got a mindset. He really has the mentality that you want to see early on, too. So I just think we've knocked it out of the park with those two guys. And then Ashton Hampton from Florida State University School, Coach Jared Hickman. His dad is a college head coach. His dad, this is a kid that's been around this his whole life. I mean, you can't ever have a guy more prepared than Ashton Hampton. And I would say the same thing about him, and that's why, Coach Reed, same thing I just said about Wes, what a great job he's done in putting the group together, putting the room together with all the different things you look for, especially in today's offensive football. Ashton, those of you who've seen him, he can do anything. I mean, this guy, I mean, he is long. I mean, like a giant, and can play corner. He can play nickel. He can play strong. He can play free. You can play him. I mean, he's a freaky type of athlete, but again, just really, really advanced from a football standpoint. He's player of the year down there. I mean, he's a great basketball player. There's really nothing he can't do. Very, very smart kid. So, I mean, it would be hard to find three better guys that really fit what we need than these three. Just everything, all the intangibles, and it's easy to see, again, why they chose Clemson. And we're just really excited about what they're bringing here and can't wait to get started with them. Ashton will get here this summer. And then at safety, we took Noah Dixon, Ricardo Jones, and Joe Wilkinson. Noah's been committed quite a while. He's from down there at Troup County. Coach Glisson, what a great job he does down there with that program. Noah's, he just made, I think they do one all-state team with all 7 classifications. And, you see Noah Dixon on there. I mean, this kid's a baller. He's a track guy. He's a big physical kid. He is unbelievable, just maturity, high character. His mom is amazing. He comes from, he's got a bunch of siblings. They've all been to college. They're doctors and all kind of, it's amazing, what his mom's been able to do in raising all of them. And this kid, Noah is got a bright future, so same thing, can do a lot of things. And he's a guy that will be a mid-year, so he'll be here. Ricardo Jones, same thing. You think about Ricardo Jones, man, you better, these last two guys, him and Joe, you better have your head on a swivel. Man, these two guys are tough. Everybody's going to want to know where they are. If you play offense, you better know where these guys are. These are two guys that will flat out bring the wood. Ricardo is, from Peach County, Coach Marquise Westbrook. He is a mid-year as well. He'll be down at the bowl site with us. Just an outstanding young player, tough, physical, got an edge to his game that you love to see on that defensive side. And then same thing, Joe Wilkinson is a guy from Rome High School, Coach Reed, we know well. We've had a chance to watch this kid for the last 2 years. And again, honestly, we weren't sure we were going to take another safety. And we felt really good about where we were. And with one of our players moving on, we said, you know what? maybe we take the best guy out there, and we've just watched him for the last 2 years, obviously recruiting Steph Island. We spent a lot of time down there in Rome. Coach Reed, this is as good a football as there is in the state of Georgia. I mean, this is a tough place, and this kid's the player of the year. And he is, all you got to do is watch his tape. And it's easy to see why we like him. I mean, this guy can flat out play the game of football. He's always available. He's got great special teams, impactful plays as well. But he is going to be he'll be a fun guy to watch develop. And just really glad it worked out. He was actually heading off to App State as well. And again, if it wasn't for the portal, we probably wouldn't have a chance to get this kid at this point. So just excited about how the class has come together for sure. So a great group defensively. And then Nolan Hooser from Huff High School, Coach Deshaun Baker. He's the best kicker in the country. Simple as that. He's kicked more field goals, I think, than anybody ever. I think he broke the all-time high school record maybe about halfway through the season this year. But Hooser he's an athlete. He's comes from an athletic family. Obviously, his mom and dad were both athletes here at Clemson, he's a leader. It's been really fun to watch this class and how they interact. These kids all get to know each other really well before they ever get here, and he's a guy that's a leader in this group. And so obviously that's a position that we've got to get better and have some competition, and he's definitely going to bring that. And he's a mid-year, so he'll be here as well, and he'll be down at the bowl game with us. And there'll be some more walk-on guys that we will add as we go through now and between now and when we get started. But this Chase Bird kid from Greer, who played for Will Young, Coach Watson's uncle. He's here as well, already practicing. He's a mid-year. Usually, that's rare that kind of happens. But another talented kid, had some smaller opportunities to go play, and he wanted to kind of come and chase his dream here at Clemson, and we're glad to have him. So again, got a talented team returning next year on both sides of the ball. But this is going to be a great addition to that team, and the 15 mid-years again will make it, I think, an exciting spring. So. Excited about the day, excited about welcoming everyone officially. Again, can't wait to get started with them, and grad brunch today to celebrate those grads and celebrating the new Tigers coming in. It's kind of, a little bit of both sides of it today. So it's a great time to be a Tiger, and from a bowl standpoint, we finished our bowl prep yesterday afternoon. The guys are off here for a couple of days, and we'll start back on Christmas Eve. Will be like a Monday practice for us, and we'll have a normal work week down there. So it's been a really good, however long we've been going, week plus, whatever it is. We've had a lot going on between recruiting and finals and all that stuff, and new coaches, but really like where we are, and I know the guys are excited about getting down there and having a great competitive game against a really good Kentucky team.
Any questions for Coach?
Yeah, one of the questions about the lack of explosive plays over the past year or so has been, hey, Clemson needs more team speed. They need more speed at the playmaking position. Do you feel like you've addressed that with Wesco more as you may?
Yeah, I think we've addressed it with the guys here too. Probably the top two fastest guys on this team were Nate and Cole Turner. That's we didn't have Cole Turner played a game and a half maybe, so he's been out all year, and that was obviously a hit for us. And then we've just had some guys that have Antonio Williams has played 3.5 games. That's it. So that's probably the two best receivers we had coming into the season. And, both those guys are out. Well, Adam hit a little confidence wall there, but now he's kind of hitting his stride. You line those guys up and put a clock on them, you'll see that they can run. Adam Randall can run. So to insinuate that he can't, Stellato can run. Stellato's just never been available. This is the most available he's been, and he's still, a guy that's battled through some, he hasn't had an off season since he's been here. This kid had no camp. He literally got cleared, I think, Tuesday of the Duke game. And, he's just kind of played on instincts. He's had no spring practice. So hopefully we're over the hump with this kid. And, you see flashes of why he was a top receiver in the country. Kid's just not had much opportunity. So hopefully he'll have an off season. We're really excited about him. That guy can run. Salado can run. Adam can run. Cole can fly. Antonio can run. Tyler Brown can fly. He is big-time track speed. So I think we already have that on the roster. Ronan Hannafin can fly. He is a fast kid. So we've got to, it's got to show up on game day, and that's a combination of development and all that stuff that we got to get done, and guys staying available. But absolutely, to add into what we've got, Tink is a guy that can run as well. I mean, we got a good group, but these two coming in, I mean, Wesco and TJ, they bring big playability. They're long. They got, again, ball hawking skills. They make acrobatic catches. They both do great things after the catch. TJ is a really big-bodied kid that's just a great finisher on the ball with a lot of collision balance. And then Wesco is he's not quite as he's long and rangy. He's still physical. That's why I'm glad he's coming mid-year, because we need to add a little bit of weight on him between now and August, and we will. But, man, that kid plays strong. He's a finisher. He's an excellent runner with the ball. For a big guy to be able to, maneuver and change direction like he does, with break points, I mean, he's again, these are two top 10 guys in the country. So, we're excited about it. And, again, you throw in what you saw last year from Tyler Brown. This kid's a freshman All-American. He can absolutely fly. Tyler did an awesome job with him. This kid, wasn't a very highly recruited guy. He makes freshman All-American, and he took advantage of his opportunity. So I think our speed is in a good spot. And not just that, but at tight end, Cade can really, really run, and you're starting to see him settle in. I think he'll be even better next year at accentuating that part of his game. And, so overall, that'll lead to some more explosives like we want.
Do Wesco and Moore remind you of any of the receivers who've come through in your time?
I mean, yeah, but I mean, I don't want to label any of those guys. I mean, I just think they're just, long, hard to cover one-on-one type of guys. And, they've got a lot of natural instincts to them, got just natural ball skills, and, just very polished guys at this stage. I mean, that's why they're, ranked so high. And these guys have made a ton of plays, and they'll show up the day they get here expecting to be great. And that's the mindset that they bring, and excited about jumping them in the group. It's going to be a good group. We have 10 guys. We got 10 guys on at receiver. It was a position that, had we lost another guy, we might have considered the portal, and we evaluated some guys. But we love the guys we have. And, so it's going to be fun. We got 10 guys, man, and we think all 10 can play. Again, they're all at different spots, with the two freshmen coming in, but it's going to be a really competitive spring.
You mentioned on the offensive line, John Williams and another person who's moving on. So Trent Howard, Brian Tucker, those guys have you figured out?
Oh, Trent's back. Trent's going to be back, and, that's huge for us because, we hadn't lost a game since Trent started. He's played a lot of football for us now. He's a very experienced player, and to know that he's a guy that gives us 7 starters. Trent can play both guards, just like you saw in the last game. I mean, he played left guard and right guard, and he's got really good length, and he's a guy too that's battled through some injuries and some things, and so, I think he'll really attack this offseason. But 7 guys that have started for us and won for us. It's been a while since we've had that. And then again, Linthicum is going to have an opportunity. Trent's going to have a chance to compete at center. So Linthicum, Trent, Harris will be a guy. All those guys, we'll see how it all shakes out. Linthicum will run out there first. He's kind of been in that spot, and we'll see how it goes. But we're really excited about him. So we just got some guys that can give us some, guys inside that can play 3 positions, and then we got some guys at tackle that can play 4 positions. So that's a really good situation, and again, 7 of them have a ton of experience. So I'm excited about where we are, and and frankly, that's kind of what hurt us with some of these portal guys. We really weren't looking for a one and done guy. That really wasn't what we needed. You bring a guy like that in, you're going to lose somebody. We like our guys. We don't want to lose any of those guys. We believe in Tristan and Colin and Blake and those guys that Marcus Tate. These are guys that can play tackle guard for us. We're really excited about them and where they are. So we were really looking more for, and this is kind of, we didn't know how it was going to play out with Mason, when I was going to play out with Elijah, and we ended up getting those guys, which is just a home run for us. But we were really looking for guys that maybe had at least maybe 3 years left. We felt like that would be a good fit for us, but it's as I say, they got to choose you. I mean, you can try all you want, but they got to choose you, and it's hard when you got 7 starters coming back, and there's a reason. A lot of these guys are in the portal for a reason, right? They want to be the guy, and I can't guarantee anybody's going to be the guy. You get an opportunity to be the guy, but you got to earn it. And so, but thankfully it all worked out. Just worked out the way it was supposed to. Getting Elijah and getting Mason really was big for us. Because obviously they'll come in and compete right away, but give us guys that have a lot of years ahead of them.
I guess, are you at your number offensive line wise then?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we're right at our number. And I don't even know if I mentioned Chat Pendergrass. I mean, y'all have heard me talk about him. This kid's if he was coming out right now, they'd be lined up to sign this guy. He was a tight end over at TL Hanna, and not a guy that ever played a snap of offensive line until he came here. But this is a good football player. He's a good player. He's a lot like Philip Price was. Those of you who've been around here, they ended up being our starting left tackle on the championship team. I mean, he's got some good football ahead of him, and just gives us some good depth. So he's kind of a 16th guy, if you will. So to have 16 guys that you feel good about, I mean, and we do. I mean, I'm really excited about Zach Owens. He's down to about 360. I mean, hard to say he's down to 360, but he is, and he's on his way. So if we can keep him in the right category, this kid's got all of his football in front of him. Same thing with Ian, big physical kid. We're excited about him. And then obviously Harris played as a freshman last year, and Blake Miller's a 2-year starter. Colin Sadler, redshirt freshman this year. Man, he's an outstanding player. What Tristan Lee did this year, I mean, these guys really kind of really have given us a lot of confidence moving forward. Marcus Tate, we all know who he is, and getting Walker Parks back is going to be a big shot in the arm. He's been out all year. So we got a really good group, and I think a very good mix of, older guys. We got a big junior group. We got a few seniors next year. And then, really good, sophomore in Harris, and then some guys coming in to get in that pipeline to go along with those redshirt freshmen.
Talked about how valuable that mid-year arrival is for the guys in their development, but do you see that kind of as that next evolution of the crucial key to winning and having success with going the high school route and not that portal route?
I mean, Tyler Brown didn't get here till right at 1st of July. He made freshman All-American. We had other guys that come in mid-year and they don't play. It's all about maturity, focus. I mean, it's a transition. I mean, we've had. I mean, Christian Wilkins showed up in the summer. He did pretty good. We had guys that come in mid-year that redshirted. It just depends. It depends on where they are developmentally. And but I will say this. I mean, it's awesome to be able to start that process for them. And honestly, the mid-year thing is just, it's a function of the portal. There's so many of these high school kids are just being like, it's almost like if they're not a mid-year, they get pushed aside, because everybody just needs, they want these guys right now. And it's really impacted the high school recruiting from that standpoint. So you're going to continue to see that. I mean, 15 mid-years. I mean, it's like a norm now, right? And even more for some places, especially if you're bringing in a bunch of portal guys. So it just depends. Depends on who they are and where they are, developmentally, maturity-wise, especially, their focus, because there's a lot that comes with it. But I've seen both. Guys come in mid-year, it really pays off and they play. And I've seen guys come in mid-year and they don't work quite like they need to. It's a little bit of they're not quite as mature as they need to be, and they play their way on the sideline. And then I've seen guys show up in the summer that you really don't think they're probably gonna play, and wow, man, they're Tyler Brown.
On that note, how much of an appeal, with all the ways that recruiting has changed in recent years, when you go into a kid's living room, to be able to sell them on the opportunity that if you do the things the right way and you do what you're supposed to do, you'll get a chance to play right away. How much is that still an appeal in the kids you're recruiting?
Yeah, I don't promise anybody anything other than I'm going to love them, I'm going to challenge them, I'm going to hold them accountable. We're going to give them all the resources they need to be successful. We're going to value their education and make sure that they understand what the priorities in our program are. And we're going to graduate them. We're committed to that. They just came out a couple of days ago. I think we got the highest graduation success rate in college football the last 19 years or so. So we don't just talk that. This is who we are. This place is hard. You don't go to class here, you don't play. And I'm serious about that, and we always have been. And all you got to do is look at the track record, what we've done academically to back that up. So we're very transparent. We're very transparent. They got to do the work. I can't promise anybody anything. God may take football away from them. I don't know what their future is. I do know this though. This is a place that's going to equip you. As a man, you got to do your part. Can't do it for you. You got to plug in, you got to buy in, and you got to go to work. But we promise everybody gets the opportunity. All you got to do is look at. I've started freshmen at every position. Everywhere. I've started freshman quarterbacks, running backs, tight ends, linemen, receivers, linebackers, D linemen, corners, safeties. We've had freshmen start at every single position in my career here. I've had walk-ons start. I remember the redshirt freshman Hunter Renfro, and we had signed Dion and Ray, and every time I'd meet with y'all, I'm talking about y'all better figure out this Hunter Renfro. Y'all all looking at me, like I'm crazy, because y'all want to talk about the 5-star receivers that just got here. We're gonna play the guy that deserves it, and the guy that deserves it and earns it is what we see in practice. It's not what, unfortunately, what social media says or what the media may perceive based on what they've seen in high school. It's what we do every day. We want to win. Trust me. So. It doesn't matter. You beat out an older. We've had freshmen beat out veteran quarterbacks. We've had it all. We've had freshman D linemen beat out veteran D linemen. We've had it all across the board. So ultimately, that's just the game of football. It's competitive, and but what we promise them is you got an opportunity to come in and compete. We'll evaluate where you are. You got to trust us to do our job. And some guys. Some guys show up and, man, no assembly required, right? Like, boom, just get them right out of the box. Boom, here you go. Some guys, it's all in the box. Just takes a while. You got to put it all together. You got to read the instructions, figure out how, and then you put it together. And in the end, it's a table just like that other table, but this one was already put together when it just showed up, right? And you just, boom, it can function. The others, you got to get it all there, and then it can function. And that's just the process of young people and the challenge of college football. So that's all we promise them, man. Everybody's got opportunity. You got to take advantage of it.
Ian Reed, you mentioned him, but not bowl practice, he's not practicing.
No, he won't practice. He's cut. Oh yeah. He's coming off of he's had I don't know the exact word, but he's been sick, but he's I think on the right path there, and we're just excited about him, man. We saw enough of him during the season, during practice and all this. He's a tough physical kid. He's like a bigger Harris, if you will. Likes to play, wants to learn. Very eager. And so, he's got a lot of days ahead of him. So hopefully he can kind of get this situation under control and get back out there this spring, get rolling.
Any questions for Coach virtually?
Yeah, Dabo, it's Pete at AP. Happy holidays coming up. Couple of quick
questions. When these guys come down and join you at bowl practice, the few who are going to do that, do they get a full Clemson indoctrination right away? I mean, are their habits being looked at immediately? And hey, you got to change this and change that. Does it start right from the time they get with you guys?
Yeah, I mean, it's not as thorough as it's going to be when they're going to move in on the January 7th. We got orientation the 8th and 9th, and there's a lot that happens in that, team rules, expectations, all these things. And then we'll have school will start on that Wednesday. I'll have them over on that Thursday. We'll have their first team meeting on that Friday, the 12th. And there's a whole process. Paul Anderson kind of manages our freshman transition. So it starts right away. But it's a little more, one-on-one individual because it's not a huge group. They're not all there for the bowl, but a bunch of them. I think we'll have 7 or 8 guys coming in. So yeah, we get started. Get started right away. Get them in line. Start teaching individual. Start learning. Start getting to know people and it's full. Last year was the first time I've been around that, and it was really cool. It was really cool to see Khalil Barnes and Shelton Lewis. I think. Who else? Was there one other? We didn't have many. Was Steph Island there? Maybe Steph Island. Maybe Big Burley. He came in there. I think he was one of them as well. But that was pretty cool to just start that process before I've ever been able to do it before.
I was going to say, too, the roster management issues, given the COVID exemption and things like that, are you starting to get more of a handle on it? Is there going to be a year, I don't know, 25, 26, where you got to bring in 35 guys because the numbers just run out?
Yeah, I don't think. I don't think we really have any COVID guys this year. Actually, last year we had Maskell, and we had Maskell, we had Putnam. He was 5th year, but it was 5 years of playing. It was Maskell, Putnam, and XT. Maybe JP. I think he played as a freshman. Tyler Davis. He played as a freshman. So those were all 5 years. I don't think we have any COVID guys. I think everybody this year is within their eligibility. But. Yeah. So, well, I mean, I think we got another. I think it goes through like 25 or something like that. So we do have a guy. We got a few of those guys that are going to be 5th-year seniors this year that technically could have another year. I think it's Trent Howard's class and Swanson and all that. So technically, those guys could have Trent could actually have 2 more years if he wants. I don't think he will. I think he's going to get married and all that. But so I think we maybe got 1 more year of potential COVID stuff, but I think from our standpoint, we kind of are aware of all those situations.
Yeah, thank you, appreciate it.
Hey Dabo, this is Anna Adams. If you know it off the top of your head, could you name I guess you said 7 or 8 guys that will be at the bowl on site?
Where's Sorrells? I don't know if he's in here. I know Hoosier's coming. I think Corian is coming. I think from a mid-year standpoint, let me look at it here. Azuma May's coming. I don't think Wesco's going to make it down. I don't think Ronan's coming. Watson may come. Elijah Thurman, I think, is coming. Mason Wade, I believe, is coming. Kasai's coming. Champ's already here. Sammy's coming. Tavoy is coming. I said Corian's coming. I believe. I'm not sure on. I know Ricardo's coming. I'm not sure on Noah, and Hoosier's coming, and Chase Bird is here, the walk-on. So we got a good group. Good group.
Thank you. And then quick question: defensive end, are you guys done there, or is that possible? You could still add there either high school or the portal.
I don't see a portal situation. That was a position that we looked at. We kind of evaluated every position on our roster from a portal standpoint as a staff, and that was a position that with the guys that we have in-house and what we've been able to see from those guys, it wasn't a position we wanted a portal guy, because you got a guy like Peter Woods that can play anywhere. Is there a guy out there that we think would come in and be better than that? We didn't feel that, so we focused on the high school kid, and we'll see, if anything transpires there, but not looking for a portal guy there right now. Now, again, what is this? This is December the 20th. There's another portal window, the first week of January, and then there's another portal window in the spring. So we got a long way to go till the season. And again, if you have guys, we haven't had guys leave in the spring. We had Malcolm, who went to Virginia as a graduate, and Greg, last year just decided to move on from football, and that's it. The last 2 years, we've only had 2 guys. So, if you get a group of guys that aren't with you in the spring, then there's no high school kids to get in May. So you have to sign whatever you can get in the portal. So that's just where we are today. If something changes, then you have to respond to that. But you have to base it on where you are. I'm committed to the kids on this roster, and we really believe in our roster.
How many portal offers have you guys put out since?
I think it was like 4. I think it was 4 guys that we went after in the offensive line, and one other guy that we, actually a couple other guys that we made phone calls to, but it just wasn't an interest in a couple other guys that just weren't right fit for us. So, it's not a lot of guys. I mean, it's still you still have to be good enough. You still have to be the right fit. There's a lot that goes. There's academics, amazing. You still have to be an academic fit. Nobody talks about that. You got to be able to be eligible. So it waters it down. I'm sorry.
Portal frenzy and schools taking 16, 17 guys. You said, no, we'd rather take the high school guys. What's the thinking behind that with you as a coach? You're like,
it's just where we are as a program. We haven't gotten into the situation yet where we've had big, massive gaps in our roster, So, I'm glad we got Tyler Brown for a few more years instead of just one. I'm glad we got Antonio Williams, for a couple more years. I'm glad we got Cole Turner for maybe 4 more years. You get this year back. That's just we've won. I know we only had 8 wins this year, but there's only 2 other teams that have had 13 8+ win seasons in a row. That's Georgia and Alabama. So I think that's just how we've done it. We've been consistent with graduation, and we've been consistent with winning because of how we recruit. And again, we evaluate everything every year. So we get a situation where we think, and if you bring somebody in, you got to let somebody go. That's the way it works. And I love the guys here.
Got time for about 1 or 2 more.
The guys in this class seem pretty tight. Is this maybe one of the most tight-knit groups you've had yet?
I would say last year's class and this year's class. Last year's class, man, they really it was a unique group. It was like one of the first times, honestly, that, and I don't know if it's, just kind of the way social media is, and just, they're all on like this group chat thing. Used to, we couldn't be a part of that. They just changed that rule like a year or so ago where you could have multiple people on the same text thing as a coach. So, now we're kind of able to be a part of that. It's pretty cool. They get to know each other, and it's fun. They kind of recruit each other and all that type of stuff. But this is, I thought last year's group was really tight, and same thing with this group. Really, really close group. They communicate very well, and it's interesting because you got guys from Texas all the way to the east coast of Florida up to, Maryland, Virginia, and they all know each other. And I think that's a neat thing.
Looking to the spring, is it the expectation that Vizina push Cade? Is he?
Well, I hope so. Yes. Well, he's And that's a perfect example of what you get out of bowl prep, man. I'm gonna tell you what, it's been fun. We've done a couple of scrimmages, and hopefully we'll have one more. And CV and Trent, man, them guys, they're good players. And man, he's been awesome. It's fun because I was really anxious to see him because he hasn't had a lot. He's had to, he's done some scout team, and most of his stuff has been mental work, and we've got him what we could. So I was anxious to see, where he was based on what I saw in August, and it was good. It was really good. It's been a fun week or so watching him. You get reminded pretty quick why he was such a high-level recruit. He's big, he's strong, he can run, he's accurate with the football. He's a very good player. And then same thing with that dadgum Trent. I mean, nobody really talks about this kid, but he's a little baller. He knows how to play the game, and he needed to physically improve, and so he redshirted, and this has been a redshirt freshman year, and he's really changed his body. He's just stronger. So all the things that you liked about him that made him a back-to-back Gatorade Player of the Year, it's just better because he's bigger, faster, stronger, and has a feel for the game. So it's been good, and it's been fun to see Paul, because Paul's got to be ready to go win for us, right? And it's been fun to see him get a lot of work. And I think he's second in the history of the state of Alabama, in passing yards and all that stuff. I mean, this kid had a heck of a high school career at a high level, and he's got a ton of experience. He's incredibly smart, and he's a perfect guy to have. Again, for a fourth guy, that's just going to know everything and could go function. Again, if you get to a fourth guy, it's probably not good anyway, but not many fourth guys have the functionality of this kid, so, and the experience. So it's a good situation, and seen nothing this past week that dampers that enthusiasm. So, yeah, I mean, you don't want anybody, you want everybody to go compete. Everybody. Everybody's got to go compete. Everybody's got to prove it every single year. None of us have lifetime contracts, period, the end. Everybody's got to prove it every single year.
Got time for one final question from Zoom.
Hey, Dabo, it's Chapel with the state. Just one signee from the state of South Carolina. Is that the fewest you've had in the class here, and what would you kind of attribute that to?
I don't even know, honestly, if that's the fewest. Anybody know? I don't know. It seems like there's been maybe a couple of years along the way, but we went after a few guys. We didn't get them. So I mean, again, I've done this long. First of all, there's this is a small state from a population. There's more people in Atlanta, right, than the whole state, basically. And so you don't have a huge population. And then you're looking for guys that are good enough at Clemson, and then it's academics, it's fit, it's all those things. So it's a very small number, for us. But I will say this: you get a kid from South Carolina, it's really good football players in this state. I mean, really good. But we went after several. It was just one of those years, and especially having been in this state now for 21 years. There's just some kids that they grow up pulling for the other team, just the way it is. And it's hard to overcome that. So you work hard at it. We take a shot. And some of the guys that we offered several, we just didn't get them this year. So it kind of goes in cycles a little bit. But really excited about, how it all shook out for us and pumped about it. And, I think Watson Young is, let's just track him. We'll see where we are 4 or 5 years from now. I think he's going to be a good football player and going to be a great Tiger. That kid was born to be a Tiger, so I'm glad it worked out the way it did. And I think we're off to a great start in our 25 class. So it's, a lot of momentum in that group as well.
All right. Thank you, Coach. Thank you, everybody.